Hi, ladies. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining me tonight. And yes, 2020, how exciting. Really wanted to jump on with you tonight to talk about presenting. It's week 2 of Enroll with Purpose, and it's going to be exciting. January is looking interesting. So, the specials this month are amazing. Thank you, Universe, because we have 20% off enrollment kits. This means all of your new people this month will get 20% off. So it's a really great chance for you guys to get out there and start inviting to your classes. I hope you've already got some classes booked in. If you don't, it's not too late. I've been a bit slack in that department, and I will be spending the rest of this week booking and inviting. So if you haven't done that, don't stress. We're all in the same boat because it's New Year's, and just get it done. We've also got 10% off the Slim and Sassy. Smart and Sassy is also known, which is great for metabolism, tastes nice in water, and it goes really nicely on the thighs. We also have our product of the month. If you place your 125 PV order before the 15th, you'll get yellow mandarin for free. That's exciting. It's really good for the digestive system, and it tastes and smells amazing, just like mandarin. Okay, so it's a beautiful little oil, actually. Also, the frankincense promo has been extended till the 15th. So if anyone does enroll, or you do a 200 PV order before the 15th, you'll get a free Frankie. So if you missed out last month, now's your chance to get your free frankincense. It's worth a lot of money, and it's fantastic for your body. So, presenting, let's do it. All right. Have we all got classes booked or no? Let's be honest. I don't, and that's okay. I'm not freaking out about it. I know it literally takes half an hour of my time to sit down and text people and say to them, hey, I'd love to have a class with you. I've got some oils. Let's get together. And people that you know that will be on board with that will actually be really keen, and they'll just say yes, and there you go. There's your class booked. But when we talk about presenting, the inviting stage is really important, because if we haven't invited properly, then we actually don't have anyone to present to. Whether it's one person or 10, inviting is critical. So we really need to be effective at that so people show up. Generally, I like to be really clear on the type of workshop that we're going to do, so people know when they arrive to the class that it's going to be either an introduction to essential oils, or it's going to be a make and take, and something that they might have to pay for, $5 per product, for example. We want to be able to close these classes efficiently and have these people leave knowing that they've just had a really awesome day. Okay, so the 2 types of classes that I use is the presentation style and the make and take style. So whichever one it is, make sure that people know in the inviting part what they're going to show up to. I think this is super important, because if they think they're coming to a make and take and then they sit through a presentation, it can lead to a little bit of disappointment, and vice versa, okay? So it's also really important that these people aren't showing up just to chat with the host, that they know you're there to do your presentation. Because it can be really difficult if you show up to a room of people and they're there just to have a coffee and a catch up, or they're drinking and you feel really out of place. And I have had classes like this before, and it's awkward. And you need to have strong boundaries in this. Your time is precious, and you need to be able to show up in your power and say to them, hey, we are here to learn about some oils. It's only going to take 45 minutes, and then we have time to chat at the end. Be strong about what you're doing and why you're there. Otherwise, you might as well just pack up and go if they're not interested, to be honest. And I've almost done that with a few classes. So if people are not inviting clearly, then that needs to be addressed with the host. Make sure the host is actually saying that people are coming to an essentials oils class, workshop, whatever you want to call it. Presenting our oils is all about providing clear solutions to their problems. Everyone has problems, and it's about figuring out what those problems are on the night and how you can best give them a solution to that. So asking questions when they arrive on, like, hey, why did you guys come tonight? What intrigued you to be here? it'll give you a little bit of an insight on why they showed up. Did they show up just because they're the friends with the host and they're just numbers? But everybody has a problem, right? Start saying things like, who here has trouble sleeping? Who here wishes they had more energy? Who here has kids? Kids are an energy train. I love them. Gotta love them. But yes, they take all of our energy and our clarity, and everybody needs peppermint in their lives. So I do like to use the presentation style workshop to people I don't know and that I know haven't had any introduction to the oils. I don't really want them going home with any product that I am not quite sure if they'll use it in the safest possible manner. So if I show up to people I don't know, brand new for the first time, I always use the presentation style workshop in order that they can have an understanding of what essential oils are, the basics and safety and usage, okay? I then offer the make and take as a follow-up. And the follow-up is a great way for people to get hands-on if they've already enrolled, or to enroll at the second class, or to just try the oils. And these little steps each time honestly just add to a person's trust in you and trust in the oils and familiarity. And using the make and take style in the second workshop and follow-ups can also help with ongoing orders. So LRP, yeah, as it will show people different ways on how they can be using their oils all the time. So when I do the presentation style workshop, we use the Nature Solutions handout. I always have these on me anyway because we do tend to use the enrollment form at the back, even with the make and take. So I hope you've all got yours either already or in your January order and coming soon. If not, you can actually download this, so you can just print it off yourself. Sorry, I'm going to turn that off. So when I do the Nature Solutions class, I simply thank the host for having everybody here. I introduce myself. I just say, hey, I'm Liz Stewart. I've been doing doTERRA essential oils for about 3 years. I love to teach people quick ways on how to use them in their daily lives, right? Keep your introduction super simple and something that you will know to say. People don't really want a long intro here. They just sort of kind of want to get into it, all right? They're already reading and people are already jumping through. I really love to actually explain the booklet first. So what I say to them is, this is what we'll be talking about tonight. But what I want to show you is the inside as well. So this is what our cabinets can look like. Here's ways we can use it, and quickly flick through the book like this. Here's some enrollment kits, which we'll get to later. And here is our price list. Now feel free to write on this as we talk. It is yours to take home, and I want you to concentrate on the figure in the bold, because that is the 25% off. That is the wholesale price that you guys will get when you get your own account, okay? So your other prices is on the back, and here is the enrollment form. So this is the one we fill in that we can get our own oils in our own home, okay? So let's go back to the beginning. You can see how I allowed people just have a quick look at what's going on, briefly explained it, and then I bring them back, okay? At this point, I like to bring out wild orange. Because it gets everybody's hands clean. And I'm not a germaphobe, but the thought of anyone else passing me around their germs or whatever. So I always open with, you know, a drop of wild orange. So put a drop in the hand, please pass the oil around, smell the oil, rub your hands together, breathe it in. And then I talk about how orange really uplifts the self, right? Allows everybody in the room to get into a good mood, but it's also cleaned their hands, because we are passing oils hand to hand, and the last thing we want to do is be passing colds and flus around, okay? Wellness advocates. Yes. God, I love orange. Anyway, just saying. All right. So we look at the modern approach versus the holistic approach. I really love just to focus on the lemon, lavender, and peppermint in the beginning. Wherever the class may lead you is really about a flow of energy, and however you read people. Someone may start talking about immune system and then you can move on to On Guard or whatever. Stay to your Home Essentials kit unless specifically asked not to, because the Home Essential kit is our basic kit. Okay, everybody should start there at least. So when I do talk about these, I do try and mention what's on here. So I like to mention peppermint first. Peppermint's amazing. 1 drop is equal to the 28 cups of peppermint tea. And people go, wow. So you pass this one around. Everyone gets to smell this oil. Okay, pass it around. When it comes back to you, bring out lemon. This is my favorite oil to talk about price per drop, because we can actually, there's 250 drops in this bottle, right? And we can make a benchtop cleaner for about 50 cents, right? Lemon is amazing for cleansing. So I use this one for cleaning my glass, my benches, and my gut. It's really good detoxing oil. And my 4-year-old's here to join us tonight, I think. Say hi, Tyler. Come here. Say hi. Oh, careful. 2 seconds, guys. What are you doing? Oh dear. Trials and tribulations of being a mum. But this is what we happen. This is real life, guys. And yes, we are all mums in this, and sometimes things don't flow and sometimes workshops turn to shit. And just roll with it, eh? I've done workshops with dogs and cats and toddlers running around and women sitting with their backs to me talking over the top of me. And it's about how you handle yourself. So if stuff doesn't go to plan, don't worry about it. Just laugh it off, carry on, solve the situation, what's ever going on, and keep going. Because heck, it's life, hey? Really, it is. All right, so let's get back into it. And that's what I do. That's exactly what I say. Okay, let's bring it back. Let's talk about lavender. And lavender, you talk about something brief with each oil, okay? You don't need to know 10 things. You don't need to tell them 10 things, especially if they're brand new to oils. It's too much. Keep it super simple. I do always like to say, because you're introducing blending, right? When we blend lavender, lemon, and peppermint together, it becomes our seasonal threats. This is something I like to use in diffusing. It's something I like to rub on my throat topically, and it's something I'll actually take in a shot glass of water for flavoring and to actually help my allergies. So I've also introduced the 3 ways that we can be using our oils, okay, which is at the bottom of the page. So when you're presenting, move with the energy of the room. Someone might say to you, do you have anything for? And you can say, yes, I do. And you can move straight to that oil, or you can say, yep, I can show you that at the end of the class. No worries. Whatever you get familiar with is fine. Just don't get so stuck on this is the way I have to do it, because honestly, people are there to solve their own problems. And if you're not allowing them to talk to you and to get answers from you, it can create a bit of, I don't know, they lose interest really quickly. So when you are doing it, there is a certain method to follow, but be flexible on that. Know how you feel in yourself. If you guys do need to practice on people, then ask your closest friends to say, hey, I'd really like to practice this. And do you mind are you open to it? Can I just sit with you and practice with you for a bit? It's just probably the easiest way. I actually don't mind talking to people I don't know because they have no expectations. So it's great. So that's me. All right. Now, all right. So when you get to the bottom of the page and everyone moves across this section, I like to say, so we're not just oils. So this is what I'd love my bathroom cabinet to look like and for yours to look like when we're starting to replace natural products. So we can have natural toothpaste and shampoo and conditioner. We can have supplements. So you're just introducing other products here. You don't need to go into this in great detail, okay? They can read, okay? And then over here, we have this section. Now stop and say to them, I'd really love you to write down why you came tonight. What are your top 3 issues that you have going on at the moment? And if you get a little bit of silence in the room, just say, what is it? What does it look like to you? Is it digestive trouble? Do you have trouble sleeping at night? Just give them a little bit of ideas just to jog their mind. So you've got 3 ideas, and then just say, is someone confident enough to give me one of their ideas and we can talk about a few oils? Okay, great. Having tummy troubles. We like to use digestin for that. Pull your digestin out, okay? And say, talk about how you rub it on your tummy clockwise, or for those that like the flavor, they can have it in their water, pass the oil around again. You really want to get people smelling and touching the oils as much as possible. Give them a chance to experience the oil for themselves, basically, but you're also helping them answer their questions here. So this is actually a really good bit to do, and especially if you're feeling really nervous, then this allows you a break, because you don't have to quite talk for a few minutes. Take a sip of water, gather your thoughts, and you can start again. All right. I always like to talk about the fractionated coconut oil as why we like to dilute on the skin as well. So I tend to do Easy Air, Digestin, and FCO. Okay, keep it really simple. Right, do mention the LLV if you can. I don't always remember that part, and that's naughty, but anyway, I'm just being honest. So when they turn over the page, you say, okay guys, I'd now like to show you how you can get your own oils in your own home. Kits is the best value. So this is our basic intro kit, which is the top 10 oils with the diffuser. All we need to do is add the fractionated coconut oil on, and that's you good to start. You can also add on any other products as you need or you like tonight. This is the bigger kit for those that want to overhaul their house. So for anyone that is ready just to get stuck straight in, the Nature Solutions kit is for you. Now, just want to point out that this kit here is 5 ml bottles. So you've got 5 ml and you've got 15 ml bottles. So this kit, you have 3 times the amount of oil for less than twice the price. People then understand the value here. But I always reinforce, you do you. What is within your budget, and I'm not here to push. But if you have any questions, we can find the best solution to help you get started tonight within your budget. All right. So let's turn to the back, which is our order form. So just briefly go through it. So this is how you're going to get your oils in your own home tonight. All you do is simply fill out the form. So tick the kit that you'd like. Put your other products here, including your fractionated coconut oil. Add your details here, and then credit card down the bottom. Easy. That's how I close my class every single time. I then say, so I'm actually going to come around now and help you guys. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I've had a lot of fun. And get up off your chair and walk to the closest person and start talking to them. It gives a huge signal that they are free to move around, that the class is completely finished. And, you know, it's just, you need to close your class. And if they don't understand the close, then there can be a bit of like, are we allowed to go? Are we not allowed to go? Make sure you actually say, thanks very much for coming. I'm going to help you with your orders and any questions you might have. Feel free to try the brownies or whatever, you know. Okay, I know that's really, really brief, guys, and I know that we're covering quite a lot of information tonight. So if you do have questions, please let me know on this as well. If you want me to do, all of you have seen a presentation style workshop with me. So yes, if you have any questions on that, let me know, okay? So, all right. Now, the make and take style. I follow Lisa Zimmer. If you haven't already started following her, I do recommend her. She is where we have got the trifolds from and the make and take system. So these are amazing. I actually don't have the make and take with me, that's okay. These are amazing. These gives you the words when you are out and about and you bump into someone and you don't have time. It gives you all the information. It's really, really good. Get your own copy. Let me know. I've got some spares hanging around. This is honestly brilliant. Now, this also opens the make and take style. These classes are phenomenal for increasing LRP retention. It is amazing to help people in their second class once they've got their oils and they want to make some stuff with their own oils. It's just a really good way of bringing people together to have a bit of fun. It's not as formal, I suppose. It can be quite casual, and therein lies the problem. You need to control this class. It can get out of hand very quickly. So there is a few tips and tricks I want to give you for this one. Okay, so when you do open your class, open it in the same way. Hi, my name's Liz Stewart. I've been doing doTERRA for 3 years. I'm really happy to be here tonight. So what I want to do is run through this trifold with you really briefly, and then we'll get into the making of the products. So all the products tonight are $5, okay? If you do choose to get a kit at the end, then your products that you've made tonight are my gift to you and you won't need to pay, okay? There's a quick way of saying your products are going to be free because you're going to get something anyway. And it's also a nice way to introduce the kit idea. So I always say that. I think it's an easy way. So I want you actually to open your make and take classes by just reading the trifold, especially at the beginning, okay? If you're still not sure of your own words, then simply read it. Get to this section and say, and here's the top 10 oils. I won't read it. I'll leave that for you. And I'm going to go through the top 3 ways that we use our oils tonight. Now, on the back, we also have our kits. And that's the best way we can get started with the best value. We will come back to this again at the end. Okay? So let's move to the make and take portion of the class. There's a few things that I like to do in this class. I don't own all the oils and I can't afford to get them all. So I choose sometimes what products we're going to make, and I'm very clear about this. So if we're making some rollers and on the sheet it has a few different options, I say tonight we will be making this one, and that one. That's it. And sometimes my classes, I've even said that we're only making 2 rollers because that's all I could afford to provide. So you make a choice within your budget whether you would like to actually do any of them or you would like to limit it. In the beginning, I would suggest you limit it. Just say, we're going to make 2 rollers tonight. We're going to be making the immune bomb and we're going to be doing the happy head, whatever it might be, okay? Just start with one section at a time. So we're going to start with the happy head, okay? So who here would like to make the roller? They put their hand up. Pass out the rollers or already have them there, it's fine. So now we have peppermint oil. Pull the peppermint out. Okay, everybody gets to smell the peppermint. Send it around and then bring it back and say, okay, we're going to add 5 drops to the bottle and we're going to follow it. So it's frankincense and peppermint, okay? Whatever it is. Make sure you keep the lid. This is the signal that there's an oil missing, all right? Especially if you have a group of 10. I've had this happen before. And you need to be able to make sure that this oil comes back to you, okay? So what I do is I send out the bottle like that. Send it out, let everybody make their roller, 1 roller at a time. Control this part of the class. It gets very chatty, it gets very loud, it's really fun. But this is the awesome part of it, okay? So you can actually stop and say, okay, can I just get my peppermint back and I'll pop the lid on and then we'll pass out the next oil, all right? So that's one way I keep control. I actually ask for the oil to be returned to me and then I put it aside and we move on. All right. Keep track of where you're at. So if you're doing the make and take class, just follow along the bottom of the sheet. Just make sure that you know which 2 oil rollers that you're making. And if you've decided that's all you can afford to make, that's totally okay. And you just can go through the other sections with them. Talk about those sections, and you can even say, if anyone else would like to have this exact class, we can make these rollers at your class. So it's a bit of a tease, a bit of a temptation. I never make all 5. I always leave one off as a bit of a teaser for everybody, because they always kind of be like, what about that one? I'm like, well, if you get the kit tonight, I'll give you that one for free. Or if you'd like to have a class at your own home, we can make that one at yours. How does that sound? So you're always leaving them with something a little bit more, but it also keeps the time short. You don't ever want to keep your make your class go more than 45 minutes, and it's hard sometimes, really hard. I always give 45 minutes for the class and then half an hour at the end to chat, to wrap up, talk, take enrollment forms and that sort of thing. Okay, so what I'd love for you guys to do is also to either have a host gift or actually offer them the products that they've made on the night as the gift, which is what I choose to do. I always say to the host, thank you so much for having us tonight. Your products are free. I hope you've really enjoyed them. And if anyone else would like to also get their products for free, then you can book a class in as well. So you're always giving the idea that you're available for classes. You're keeping the gifts within a budget that everybody can do. So it ends up being maybe 3 rollers or a couple of sprays, or you can gift whatever you want. I used to gift little ceramic bowls from Woolworths, which were $2, a couple of empty rollers, and maybe a wild orange. And that worked nicely. So you can do whatever you'd like to do, but make sure you thank your host, okay? It's nice. She's opened her home to you and to everybody, and you want to give her something back, but don't go overboard here. If you start going overboard, then other people be like, oh, I don't really want to do that. I can't afford to do that. So keep it maybe at 3 products or something, and it's more about them getting to use their oils rather than it being about that gift, okay? So make and takes are fun. This can be themed. There's lots of themes in Lisa Zimmer's shop. So if you do want to do the make and take system with her, she sells the PDF and then you have the right to distribute that. There's all sorts of themes there. We've done emotions, kids, cleaning, holidays, there's all sorts. You don't have to follow her system. It's just that she's already done the work and it's there and it's easy. And I just personally think that's much easier for me. Someone else has done all the paperwork, great. But you do you. And if you don't want to pay for her stuff, then you don't have to. You can do your make and take however you like. It's totally up to you. So, okay. When you are closing your class and you've thanked your host and you are getting to the nitty-gritty of your enrollment forms, also explain the current promos that are on, because we have the 200 PV promo on, or we've got 20% off kits this month. Always make sure to remember to say that. And I like to always say to everybody, and when you get your stuff at home, be sure to get in touch with us. I say us because if I'm there presenting for somebody else, I say us so I can include that person, and we will come and have a chat with you and make sure that you can use your oils safely. We will also show you how you can reorder again online, because you're giving them that power. You're saying that you're going to support them. You're going to rehash the night that they've just had, because let me tell you the amount of times that I've shown up to someone's house for the wellness consult and they haven't remembered a thing from the class, and they probably haven't even opened their box. That's crazy to me, but anyway. Packages arrive at my house, I'm going to open them. I'm not waiting. So yeah, always make sure to say that you're going to actually be in touch with them or get them to call you, because you would really love to sit down with them and make sure they know how to use their oils. And you're introducing the online ordering system. It's within their own power to order whenever they choose, and you would just like to show them how they can use it, basically. My retention rate for wellness consults and LRP is quite high. I love doing face-to-face. I think it's really good, but it's not always viable. I've done phone calls, I've done Zoom calls. You make it work however you want, okay? And we will talk about LRP in the next few weeks, and some tips and tricks around that one. Yeah, so guys, that's my thoughts on presenting. It's really up to you and how you are with your own stories and the way you like to be with people. But I just say get one little story around each oil and then watch other people as much as possible. Jump on YouTube and have a look at the way Vanessa Jean presents her class. She is an emotional creature. She's our fairy, and she presents totally different to me. Jump on Kirsten's oily tree and have a look at the way she presents, because she does it exactly the same every time, and that's not me either. I present differently every single time. So you find your own method, but what you need to practice is the close. That's all I can say. Don't worry about the middle. Don't worry about the beginning. This is the one thing you just need to be able to do, is to actually ask, is to say, okay, I'm going to show you how you can get your own oils tonight. Tick the kit at the top, put your products here, fill your details in, and put your credit card down the bottom. That's it. Just practice that part, because this is probably the scariest bit. You can say anything you need to in the middle, but when it comes to this is where people get stuck, and it's crazy because this is the beginning. This isn't the end. This is the beginning of their journey. So all the work starts after they sign that form, actually. So when you get to this bit, don't come unstuck. Have the courage to actually just learn this part off by heart. And this is the bit that will become the easiest in the end, because you'll just have said it 10,000 times. That's all. So if you like the way I've said that, then great, copy that. Otherwise, develop your own way to say this sheet, okay? Yeah, so ladies, I'm really happy to be spending time with you guys tonight. I'm really stoked that it's a new decade, and I'm hoping you're all going to join me in Premier Club. I wish you a happy and positive week, whatever you've got going on, and let's tune in next week. We're going to be talking about the enrollment and the second enrollment, and if you don't know what that means, let's figure it out next week. So yes, get your workshops booked, start inviting your people, and decide which type of classes you're going to be presenting. Those are the 3 tasks that you probably need to be doing during this week. And if you've already got some classes on the cards, fantastic. Please call me after your class. I'd love to hear about it, and I'd love to celebrate you in your wins, in your enrollments, in the way you've presented. I'd love to hear about it. But it's also nice for you to touch base with someone and just to feel supported. So if it's not me that you're calling, call someone else. And if you've had a shit class, call me as well. I can help you through that as well. And I've called Kirsten a dozen times where I've been like, anyway, crazy. So reach out after every class, because it's nice. It's nice to feel supported in your journey. So thank you, ladies. Love chatting with you all, and I look forward to tuning in again next week. Bye.